Hello interweb, this is Dannage. Welcome back to Cattle Shores episode 21. And we start off with this little roundabout, and look at that, the traffic seems to be flowing. You know what I did? There was a bus stop right here, and the bus was always stopping, and even though the traffic had two lanes, the traffic always wanted to turn right here, so the traffic was always in this lane, and it was parked behind the bus that stopped there. And so we've cleared that. One of the other things that we've also done, here we are at night, over the zoo, not that place. There we are. The train line, there is a second train line going from there, all the way up, to there. So now we've got trains connecting up Riverside Town to the city. We've also put a road in. Just an asymmetrical road to tide us over until we decide that we might want something else. Ooh, train. Spring garden. So we've got lots of decorations. We've got lots of trees around the edges, and then a field sort of greenery area in the middle, and a giant bird flying by. And whoa, a lot of people already. They got here quick. It's very early. And right at the end here, we've got a little viewing platform from the nature reserve. Ooh, the park pier. And the park pier number 2, imaginatively titled. And another bridge just across the middle. But what we're interested in today is the Rivertown and there's a hint of Verde Beach around. I seem to be on fire and not have any fire coverage. Let's resolve that. Let's put a little fire station in that area. I thought we put some services in last time. Clearly not. Let's put some services right out at the end in all this industrial area. They want a medical clinic nearby. Bulldoze down those burned down houses. Luckily, didn't set fire to everything else. Oh, one more thing whilst we are in the parks menu. What we have got here is we have got car park by Schwintropius. So that's 2 before car park by Schwintropius. I'll put a link to that hopefully in El Descriptione. So we're just going to put a couple more roads around this little section here, I think. And that should give us enough people around to want jobs. I mean, I did check, I'm still at 97% employment. If I'm going to want to put some industry, if I'm going to get some demand on that industry or some workers for that industry, I'm going to need to have people that want jobs. So let's put some roads in, remembering not to connect to our arterial, only our collectors. So all we need is the electricity to bridge. Well, that's a bridged portion, so that's going to bridge the rest of that soon enough. When this is, oh, look at that, no demand. There we go. We've bridged. No demand for anything. That's good. That means, well, I'm not sure what that means. Technically, we've built some space for residents. No residents want to move in. We've built some space for commercial. No commercial wants to move in, you'd think, because there are no industries around. But still, I've got 0 industry demand. Curses. So I think we have got some time now. Therefore, oh, this is getting quite busy, isn't it? Looking like quite the little hive of activity. Right, so we've got priority on the main road. And this route, I doubt anybody's using this little bit of traffic by now. They're the rest of the bones of the city. As soon as they go the other side of this river, and then, oh, we're going to do something. We want to do something with this water. Let's make some tree industries. Or let's make some space for them, shall we? We've got some junctions coming off. I think we're going to have a junction here. We've obviously got a train line going here, and we have a junction here with the road, so we can join it up. And that's going to be... oh, that's over there. That's good. I think, as this is sunken, we'll have a little bit of fun, and we'll do a bridge somewhere. In the meantime, let's go start here with some roads. Well, I do not like the way that it won't let you look at the terrain heights as you are doing underground. That looks like it's going up. Still, the way to go is select that node, Control H, make it as high as that node, and see... yeah, that's quite deep. That's a deeper hole than I'd want. I do like the industrial tunnel entrance though, with the old fans and everything. That's pretty neat. Otherwise we could spend hours just trying to find a bit of terrain that sort of conforms a little bit. Already I've got a horrific kink in the road there, which we're going to have to sort out in a minute, so at least it doesn't look too terrible. Now, if you've deleted some trees and you've decided that you don't want to do that, the top tip is just to grab all the ones next to them and then just move them into the space. So we've got an industrial road coming off in the side now by the station. Now that's going to be quite straightforward to... will that get under there? Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll take a one-way. So now we've got a road loop. But let's see, so we've got this road now connected to the highway, and this road needs to connect all the way over here, I guess. Well, luckily we don't have many trees here, so what height are we going to be when we get to the other side? Again, select the node, Control H, pick the other node. Right, so that's quite far down. That's the level at which the roundabout's at. So we know we're basically going downhill quite a bit. Like my YouTube career. Nonsense. Nonsense. For it to go downhill would suggest that it was uphill before. This will be interesting. Let's see what happens now that I've got another connection with an albeit slowpoke road back to the other highway. And what I might do here, I might just allow... and that is just going to be... oh no. Oh no, why are you... Why are you turning back on yourselves? Go on the roundabout. Go on the roundabout, you crazy freaks. What? Okay. You want to play that game, do you? Right, well, then you can only turn right. I'm slightly confused by the people that are still turning right there, using the roundabout now, as opposed to the special right-hand lane I gave them. But you know what? I can only do so much before I want to throttle something, so you guys are all stuck in the road traffic nightmare that is the long journey over here. And then some people might end up going back up. Look, these probably tractors coming from the farm, and now they're having to drive all the way back up the map just because they couldn't follow the roundabout properly. Well, serves them right. So let us, where are we going to put our first forest industry? I think here, because here the trees are nice and dense. Now I think I want to do something a bit different. So we've kind of done forks, and I sort of want to do a similar thing with the, so here we've got the farms, and they are just poodling around with some random stuff. Now there was a fair amount of traffic there, so I want to avoid the traffic. I'm going to do that by having a one-way loop, I think. Yes, this should do. This should do nicely. Distance too short. That was that was half the screen. There we go. Now, I wonder if I select no nodes or segments, but trees. Yeah, it's going to pick up all my hidden trees. Good, because I don't need that on my tree count. Then we're just going to make sure that the area underneath, I mean, there's a lot of trees here, but I'm going to put some more in just to make sure. I didn't realise that was going down. I thought that was going up. Oh. Oh dear. So I might actually have to use the eyeball check here. Just because using the terrain heights, obviously, and the terrain lines didn't lead me to the correct conclusion about what was the right way up. As we've got a maintenance building, let's take a storage building. And then let's just level or smooth these out. Well, that doesn't look terrible. As the sun's beginning to set. we have got ourselves a little industry area, a little forest area. Let's just walk up here a bit quicker. It's one way, but we've got that. Alright, that needs to come down. Clearly. But otherwise, we've got some trees. I've got some vineyards near me, and they are on the side of the hill, so that doesn't look terrible for me. And then I quite like the fact that we've got some natural trees here that clearly haven't been farmed in the middle to show what we had. And then sort of moving up to the electric station and the nearby water tower. Makes it feel almost authentic. And the important thing is we've got another industry. Conifer is going to fit with the colours of the local forestry a bit better. And in amongst all this stuff, actually, it doesn't look out of place, does it? So let us finish with... I was going to... Extractors got processors, no processors. Should I put those on another thing? We will do that next time. I think what we've got here, importantly, we can switch that on now. And let's put a fire station and a police station nearby. And then water it. And then that means we've got this train line's now hooked up. Or this train station is now hooked up, and that will be accepting farm trains. Those trains may load up with further goods here and continue on to the great sprawling mess that is the city of Cattle Shores. Let's just have a quick... Oh, there's quite a lot going on in there, isn't there? Our spring gardens have turned into 3-star, that's good. And then let's just check out the traffic. 75%. I'll take that. This has kind of picked up again. Must be because I've added that industry. New industry means tremendous amount of boats. And, oh yeah, because the cargo harbour, it won't be the cargo harbour, or it could be the train. But, no, everywhere still looks like it's very busy but moving. That's the important thing. We don't seem to have improved the traffic here. Except for on these bits. So we'll have to come back and do something about that. Go into a bit more high capacity roads for a bit. Oh, let's make that industrial. This is presumably a bustling little suburbia. And then, of course, we find that 3 days later, we've finished editing the video and found that it's less than 20 minutes. And that kind of feels like it's shortchanging you. So let's just finish off some other bits, as I've expanded this forest industry just a little tad, but need to add some water in. So I've just done the same thing as everywhere else with the industry. I've added at least one of each of the buildings, but I've continued this one-way loop down the road, so they get all of their extractors, they get some storage, then they get some sawmills and some wood plants, and pulp mill, and biomass pellet plant. We've got... No. As it's forestry, let's plop a fire station in. Can't find the industry region. There it is. Valleywood production. Though we're outputting all sorts of stuff. Warehouses and factory. Furniture factory, I think, is the last thing to put. And fill this up with paper. And fill this up with plain timber. and turn those bad boys on. So let's talk about the channel. Dun 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 dun. No major changes, but there will be a scheduling change. We are coming up to a bank holiday weekend, so Monday's episode may be a little bit extended in order to celebrate the fact that I won't be working on the Monday. But maybe it won't. Who knows? I haven't decided yet. We are going to move to a 2 times a week city skyline schedule for Cattle Shores. That will be Mondays and Fridays. Mondays and Fridays. You see how neatly that was positioned, yeah? Unfortunately, that doesn't work for us because we need to make these a side road. But that, completely accidentally, that was the perfect size, eh? That's basically just in order to allow us to move a different game into a slot. Now we do have another game. A cheeky young whippersnapper called Dave decided that maybe he doesn't like City Skylines. Non-believers, they do exist out there. I don't like them any more than you do. Crazy freaks. Freaks of nature. That's right, Dave. You're a freak. Really, I mean, it needs to go in this space. It can go anywhere in this space. It could go diagonally in this space. Or I could just move this over, which may end up being what I have to do. Wednesday, we are going to be playing a different game. What game, I hear you ask? Well, you are going to have to wait and find out, aren't you? You know, and Dave has clearly thought, I'm going to reach out to Dan in a subtle way, and say, please stop what you're doing because I don't like it. Get on with something else. So Dave is obviously telling me that he doesn't appreciate the joy that is City Skylines. But you too can have similar opinions or disparate opinions. That's up to you. But essentially, all you do, you let me know in the comments. You let me know in the way that you talk to me when you see me in other situations. And you just say, Dannage, try this. And as long as it's not poison, then I'll give it a go. And I'm just playing around with some different configurations here. And I'm moving this around, and I'm going to put another warehouse in by the road so that it looks all like it's part of one big complex. And then this moves over one, and then we get a footpath in there. And that's another unique factory product and another fill. We can up this a little bit to maybe 60% productivity. This still a bit short on crops. We can move that up to 60%. I bet the bakery's got no crops in it, so we'll move that up to 60% as well. That comes down to 50%. And this guy is sick. Why is that sick? Oh, is it because of the noise? Yes. So there's nothing cool that we can put in there. Oh, I tell you what, I will put an office. Give that space for a small office block. That's this little area done. So this little area I will also just finish off with. Do we pave it? I think we pave it. Or we try paving it. And we see how that looks. And if it looks like it's sucking a bag of chuff, then we unpave it. Okay, so that area is now done, and what we want is a little fancy woo. Do still kind of want a gate, so we do kind of want to just block that all off as much as possible, and that's just another gate that sort of goes past the little lamps. I wonder what that looks like at night. If only there was some way to find out. Ha! Yeah, I quite like that. Apart from all the warning messages, obviously. Yes, there is a pleasing mix of yellows and whites in there. That's surprisingly dark from the street, even though it's a factory. Ooh, stealth factory. So we're going to make a... No, the last thing I'll do then is I will try and connect this road. This road I will connect somewhere. I want to say there. So I'm going to move this bad boy to that side. See, the electrics are in the way. I don't need this to be nighttime anymore. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Did not mean to do that. That was a mistake. And that's also the wrong road. I'm going to end up running out of time, aren't I? And then we'll just take that. We just take these roads and smooth out those slopes. Doesn't look crazy. So we now have the capacity to go straight from the warehouses, where I will add one more grain silo. Let's add some small ones. There we go. And we'll set them to balanced. Then we can go from there. We can follow the road down to the straight to the factories from the storage. And it's a slightly longer span with no pillars, but I'll tell you what, we can copy one. And that is going to be nice and clear of any obstructions. Centered enough. And yep, that works for me. So we've got some more factory stuff. We've got 3 industries now. We only need the oil industry, and then we can place any factory we like. We are filling these areas up with our products. So we've got animal products is already there. So paper has been filling up, and now planed timber. The other 2 products we've got will presumably be plastic, petrol, and plastics. And we're going to leave these 2 off though, because we haven't got any oil industry. But at least we do now have some stuff. And nope, thought that might be somebody using the bridge, but they will. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a couple. That's good. That's good. Right. Okay, so it leaves me to say thank you for watching. We've enjoyed having you here at Cattle Shores for episode 21. And we will see you again on Monday for our bank holiday, maybe slightly extended episode. See you then. Ta-ta.